Good evening, everyone. Can I get your attention up here? Can you guys hear me? For those who can't hear me, turn to your neighbors, say, bring your attention to the
Yeah, he was
stage.
all the
How's it going,
1871
everyone?
super fly.
Good. All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm super excited for tonight's event. Thank you all for being here. I want to welcome you all to 1871. Before I go ahead and get started, I'm going to ask a brief question. Raise your hand if it's your first time at 1871. Okay. About half the room is new. About half the room is, already been here before. For those who don't know, 1871 is a tech innovation hub. We support founders from pre-idea all the way to post-launch and even scale up. And our mission is to help, ensure that founders are both supported, equipped, and able to succeed at the next level. My name is Billy. I have probably emailed you or sent you a message. And I'm a program manager that works for the innovation labs here at 1871. And tonight's event about building agentic AI would not be possible without our co-host Royal Cyber. So I'm super excited. So whether you're tuning in virtually or you're here in person with us, thank you all for being here for this timely conversation. And also, agentic AI is more than a buzzword. Last week, we hosted an emerging tech summit all about AI and Web3, and we had a lot of conversations about agentic AI. It's a signal to where we're headed. It's not just a world in where AI is, placed into workflows that don't make sense. It's a world where AI is really evolving from being a side-along tool to autonomously taking action behalf of a human agent. Um, with that being said, I ask you to lean in, to be curious, to ask questions, to also take what you know back to where it can be most beneficial to the people that are directly near you. I think there is a moment in which we have to educate those who are around us just to the emerging use cases that we see with Agentic AI, because it is something that is going to be disrupting a lot of different industries. That being said, I don't want to take up too much airtime. Thank you all for being here, and I'll pass the mic.
Thank you so much, Billy. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining the session today. My name is Mustafa. Okay, just everything. Yes, yeah, okay. Everybody can listen to me on the back. It's fine. Okay, perfect, great. Thank you. So I think, thank you so much for joining the session today. We have a very good session planned, and I will quickly go through the agenda. Okay. Sorry about this. This is a new laptop for me. Okay. So I will be going through what is the agentic AI is. And then I have Sarmad, he will be giving you a live demo on how to use Azure AI Foundry and also AWS Bedrock to create multi-agents. After that, we will have 5-10 minutes uh, a break, and then Corey will be going through some agentic AI use cases with you. And then Shekhar will have some more agentic AI use cases. And finally, Heather will be going through the MCP protocol. So, MCP is the new game changer thing which was released a few weeks back, and I think everybody is very hyped about it. So Heather will be going through what is and how it works. So before I forget, after the session we will do a quick game, and there are 3 prizes. So please wait for that game also at the end. So for those who don't know about us and what we do, so Roll Cyber has been in business for about 20 plus years. We are about 2,000 plus people worldwide. We have about 7 locations. We were being awarded about 4 times the best place to work in Chicago, and we are partners with AWS, Salesforce, Microsoft, and so on. So the one question that
You can run around with the
iOS
other
engineers
kids.
are
It's
asking
okay.
is that what is the
Daddy has
impact of
a work
AI
call right now. I have a conference
on
call.
enterprises?
Can
So
I can I
there was a
listen?
survey done by
Can I try in a
McKinsey,
little bit? Can
and
you
it
play with the
says
other
that
kids that are here?
40% reduction
No, go play
in
with the other
costs
kids.
reported by companies who are
Go play with Miles,
adopting,
who's right there.
AI.
But it's
Uh,
not fun. Here,
there
look,
was
Miles wants to
another
play
survey
with you. Can you go play with him?
by McKinsey, and they said
He
about
wants to go
6
play with
trillion
you.
in global cost saving
Go climb up.
expected
Yeah, go
annually
climb up the rocket ship.
from AI by 2027. So I mean, I was just speaking to a lot of you, so I think there is a mixed crowd. So I just had a quick polling question. So are you currently using any Gen AI in your work right now? If you can just raise your hand. Okay, so a lot of people are like, currently using. That's very good. Um, are you familiar with the orchestration frameworks like LangChain, Crew AI, Semantic Kernel? None of the, okay. So a few or you are familiar, which is very good. What are you most interested in applying multi-agent systems? So do you have a use case in mind if you are here for the multi-agent system? If you can just share that, that would be great. Any use case for customer support out there? Okay. Document analysis. Um, okay. Sorry, this is breaking. Okay, I'm fine. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, and what's your main goal for attending this session today? Anybody just learn about the multi-agent, understand real world use cases? Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay, so OpenAI, they came up with this 5-step plan for AGI. Anybody familiar with the AGI concept? AGI? Okay, I think a few of you are familiar with. So AGI basically stands for Artificial General Intelligence. So from that point of view, we are currently at level 3. About 2 years back when GPT 3.5 came out, I mean, we were at that level 1, which was the chatbot. Then came the reasoning, the chat GPT 4.0 and onwards. And now recently, agents are coming out, which we will be talking. So in the next few years, when we will go to level 4 and level 5, so when we reach level 5, then AI that can do the work of an organization. So I think that's where we are going in the next couple of years. So I think before AGI takes over the world, let's focus on agents. Okay. So what is an AI agent? So AI agent is something which can work, autonomously. It can plan, reason, and it can also act. It can, it has the ability to use tools, and it can access enterprise data. Okay. So let me just use the highlighter also. Okay. So what generative AI customers are asking for? So, they're asking for, help me automate my complex workflows, help me move faster, help me find more robust and scalable solutions, right? So how do they do that? So out here, I will start with a very small agent. Okay, so out here, I have an agent which is called the HR uh, time of agent. So any problem which I have with the agent, sorry. So I can do like this particular agent can do vacation balance. It can get me sick balance. It can book sick time. But if I ask him that I'm I have some medical problem and I want to get leave of absence. Will it work? No, right? Because I mean, this particular agent does not have that knowledge about the company. So what can I do to basically support that feature? I can add the HR policy book in this agent, so it knows all about how to apply for the agent for the leave of absence. So I basically created another version, which is version 2, and I added the HR knowledge base. Now, if I ask the question that does my company provide leave of absence, it can basically answer that now because it has the HR knowledge. Now, if I want to apply for leave of absence, will it work? Because this particular agent doesn't provide that feature. So I can create another version, version 3, which can basically help with that. So uh, I can create the version 3, which and I can add the features now, start new LOA, S10 LOA, close it. So I think I can add that feature in it. So now I have version 1, version 2, version 3, and I'm just keep on adding more features, right, to that particular, agent, right? Now I can add some more features, right? Like I can add also promotion knowledge. I mean, if I want to have any promotion questions, I can go to my agent and ask that. I can also ask questions like about, payroll, that when will be the when will be the payroll for February and March and all sort of things, right? So I can just keep on adding that. But what will happen if I add a lot of features in just one single agent? Anybody has any idea what will happen? Yes. Hallucinate. Okay, so if I add a lot of, so I think it will, so what will happen that coding gets complicated, agents gets confused, which is called hallucination, and then agent gets slower and more expensive, right? Any idea what shall I do now? Because I have a lot of features. I cannot put all the features in one single agent. Uh, One idea would be, why not I break it down, right? So I have one agent for the HR policy, one for the vacation, one for this. So I think that would everybody would do, right? So I have one agent for the time of app, one for the leave of absence, and one for the promotion app, right? What do you see the problem out here? So I have now a lot of UIs, right? If I if I have to go to the leave of absence, then I have to go to the LOA app. If I want to get a vacation time, I have to go to the time of app. So you have a lot of UI now. So that's a lot of work. So, but single agents are still siloed and limited, and you have a lot of UIs, and plus the complex automation on the back end is, I mean, still unresolved. So how do we solve this? So I mean, we cannot break it down because then there are too many UIs out there, right? So uh, big opportunities are for multi-agent collaboration. So now if I can somehow unify a customer experience and I can automate complex processes, and that is possible if agents can collaborate, right? So I think that's what we are talking about, multi-agent collaboration. So how can agents can collaborate, right? So what we do with that same example before, so I added another, let me try to get the highlighter out here so it's easy. I don't know how to get the highlighter. Heather, do you know how to get the highlighter out here? Sorry about that. Yes. Yeah, okay. Thank you. on this. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I am doing out here, so I have all of these different agents. Oh, what happened? It went all the way out down. AI took over. Agentic AI took over. Yeah, Agentic AI took over. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. So to solve that, so for the multi-agent collaboration, you need again. It went to the end. Nay, I think. Let me check. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So we have this supervisor agent out here, and I'm like very, very careful so that I don't touch anything. Okay, so I have this supervisor agent now, which basically, so whatever request will come, it will go to this supervisor agent. Now the supervisor agent will then forward this request to the sub agents out here. So if I ask a question, do I have any vacation time left this year? So this particular question will go to the time off specialist, right? So with the multi-agent approach, you will need a supervisor agent, which will then route the call to the right agent. So this is called multi-agent collaboration. And same as like, if I just keep on asking him a question and it will go to the right particular agent. Now, so supervisor provides one-stop shop for customers with optimized routing and seamless conversation handling. So all the requests will go to the agent. Inside this HR agent, it has the orchestration built in, which will send the request to the right agents. So how does routing works? So this is the main thing. So first you create a supervisor agent, and then you define the type of that supervisor agent as supervisor router. And then you use any model. I mean, out here you can use either OpenAI model, or you can use any other Claude or anything else. And then you provide description of all the other sub agents out here. So I'm like, letting the supervisor agent know that what this particular agent does and what it is for. So LOA expert, promotion expert. Now, when you ask any question, it goes to the supervisor agent, which utilizes this router. So the router, decides that this particular question, which sub agent it will go to. And some of the questions are very complicated, like this last question out here. It says, does my leave of absence affect my promotion? So this is not just going to one agent. This particular question goes to multiple agents. So it basically creates a plan. So I mean, this routing decision will make a plan that send this particular question to two sub agents and then get the response back. Okay, so it's very complicated. Okay, so if I go down. Okay, so out here, I know, I mean, one of the person which I was, speaking to, they are working for a mortgage company. So let's say that we are working for this company called, Opten Mortgages, and we are creating a new mortgage assistant for them. Okay, previously, if the customers, if somebody had any questions, they would either call their phone lines, and then I mean they will have voice menus and long waits. They were getting heavy call center volume. There was no chat experience, simple website, and limited data static views. After implementing the new mortgage assistant, this is how it looks like. So the user, so the mortgage as assistant utilizes for any questions about people who already have mortgage. Those questions will go to the existing mortgages. If they have New mortgages, it will go to the mortgage application. And finally, if they have any general question about a mortgage, it will go to the general question. So if I ask a question right now that how much payment, if let's say that I am a customer for Orcand mortgages, I go to the mortgage assistant and I ask a question that what is my monthly mortgage payment? Which sub agent it will go to? Any idea? The first one, right? This one, I mean existing mortgage. Good. So I think in this demo, I just wanted to quickly show you. If it doesn't go to the last page. Okay. So I'm asking a question out here. When's my next payment due and for how much, right? So like you said that, I mean, it will go to the first sub agent, right? Now, if I somehow this is so yeah, there you go. Okay. I think we will come back to this demo. This is, I think I'm stuck out here. Yeah, it's not going down to the next screen. This is what you want to show. I think just next screen is fine. Yeah. You want to play this? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Next page. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think out here, I'm like, basically showing that. So it went back like, to the mortgage and it got my payment. So it used the microservices call and then it got my value back. Now, if I go further, if I go to a more complicated answer out here, okay, I think the demo. But if you think about in uh, like we have a lot of agents. If you see in sales, we have hundreds of agents, marketing, HR, finance, IT. So how do we showcase these agents inside one company? So how do I get started, right? So I need a place where every employees in my company can come in. I mean, they can securely log in, they can find the right agent, right? And they can use those agent, right? So I think these are the four things like everybody is asking: how do I get started? How do I basically orchestrate agents, deploy it, accesses, and I mean manage it. So we have a product which is called AI Agent Bot. So if you see out here, like, it's something like ChatGPT, but if you get a license for ChatGPT for your enterprise, it is about $40 uh, per user per month. This has all the features of ChatGPT, plus it has a marketplace where you can deploy all of your agents out here. So if somebody from your company is looking for agent in a human resource or uh, other parts of the of your organization, they can come out here and I mean they can find this particular agent. So now I think you saw that what is an agent is, how to create a multi-agent. Now, how do we create these agents inside AWS or Azure or I mean Google, right? So I will now pass to Sarmad, and I mean Sarmad will show you with some live demos on how to do that. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mas. Hello, everybody. Alrighty. My name is Sarmad Afzal. I work as the lead AI engineer with Royal Cyber. And today I'll be giving you a brief introduction of how you use cloud-based frameworks to deploy and create your agents, right? We'll even do a live demo. So they're like, first try to understand like, why do you even need cloud-based frameworks, right? So what he just discussed or described is that you have agent, but the agent is powered with two things that you provided with data from where it understands and gives you the responses. And then the second thing is tools, which it can use to make actions, send an email, go to an API, search something, right? So these kind of things or these kind of platforms becomes very important because your data is already living in such platforms. Probably everybody here would be using something from Microsoft, something on Azure, something on AWS or Google's agent space, right? So these are the three cloud-based services from the famous providers: Azure AI Foundry from Microsoft Azure, Amazon Bedrock from AWS, and Google's agent space from GCP. We're going to be doing two demos. First of all, we'll try to create one agent on Azure AI Foundry and the second one on AWS Bedrock. Google Agent Space was recently launched by Google, and I think it's still in public private preview the last time I checked. All right. So coming back over here, this is what you get from Azure AI Foundry. So what you need to do is that you need to integrate it with your data. As you can see, there are several different kind of services or products that you can simply integrate out of the box given by Azure. Pretty much everybody here would be using SharePoint or any file storage or any kind of AI search which you today use in your organization. And then there are like different options to take actions as well. Azure Logic Apps, if you guys are aware about Power Automate, which basically is like creating your workflows with authentications that can go and take actions, that is integrated through Azure Logic Apps. Then you have options to do with Open API specs over here, which is basically providing a Swagger document of your API, and then it can see and understand the intent of question and call the respective API and get you the response. Finally, if there is something like on certain thing, you want to trigger an action that should send emails to around 2000 people at once. So when you're talking about scaling those actions, then Azure functions come into play, which are like highly scalable microservices, right? So this is about giving tools and data sources to an agent, but then you want to give it a brain as well, which is the large language model. So the large language model is something that is deciding, okay, based on the user's intent, I have to get data from this particular data repository, and or I have to take an action for which I want to send an email, or maybe I want to go to some website and search some get some like knowledge or anything, right? So Azure AI Foundry provides you model catalog, and in that catalog, you're going to get latest and the greatest models from Azure OpenAI, which is like GPT-4o, o1, o3, whatever latest that you see today in ChatGPT. Additional to that, you have options if you want to use any of the open source models like Llama 3, Mistral, Cohere, and even they have now introduced DeepSeek, which is very popular these days, right? So these are the benefits that you're going to get out of the box creating any kind of agents in Azure's AI Foundry. Next, these are the steps or the process that you follow whenever you're trying to create an agent. So first thing, if we see over here, is that you're creating an agent. So you create an agent, you have orchestrated, you have provided with the tools, with the knowledge, with data sources and everything. Now you're going to create a thread. So thread is like a chat session where it understands the context of the conversation going on with the user. Then in that thread, you send it a message, and then the agent runs that message. Finally, you are checking the run status if the agent has completed getting the information from knowledge sources, or it has to make a tool call. It made tool call and get the response, and finally, it is going to display the response to the user. This is like the, you can say, over the arch flow, right? Now, let's say you are in an organization and the organization has some travel department where you want to plan a traveling agent, and the user is basically going to ask questions like, I'm planning on this trip, suggest me some hotels around Chicago downtown area, or maybe some restaurants around that area, and even want to ask like, what are my limitations on the budget when I'm going on international or domestic travel, right? So for this, today you would reach out to your HR team, maybe your travel team or whatever, and they're gonna search for these details in their documents and gonna give you the response, right? But now in this example, we'll orchestrate an agent that takes some instructions, which is you are a travel booking and expense management agent designed to help employees plan, book, and manage their business travels. So this is like you define the role of that agent, what is expected from it. Next, you're gonna give it a model so that AI could decide what kind of questions are being asked, where is the data to generate the response for that question, right? Then of course, give it some data. Azure AI Search is a service that holds process data about your documents, or you can simply upload files, right? Finally, there are like a list of tools, again, which we discussed in the last slide. If it has to make actions, if it has to make API calls, if it has to write SQL query, you can integrate those as well. So this is going to be the flow. User asks a question. I need to book a hotel in New York for 2 days stay, right? So for that, you need recommendations like what hotels are available. Where are you going to find those? You are going to go to booking.com, maybe TripAdvisor, or any other booking platform that is available. Search there. But instead of you doing that, this AI agent is going to make API calls and gonna directly get you a list of famous hotels, restaurants, everything using the travel advisor API. Now you know like what options you have to stay, right? The next thing is that you want to see what is the daily meal allowance for the business trip. Now, where do you expect this answer to be? Probably going to be in any of the policy documents that you have in your organization. So for that, you have to empower the AI or the agent with the policy documents of your organization. It could be living in a SharePoint, it could be in OneDrive, or it could be in a file that you can simply upload. All right. So this is something that we're going to do right away live in Azure AI Foundry. All right. So just briefly giving you an overview of the AI Foundry. The AI Foundry comes in with a hub where you can create different projects. You can give access to the hub or different projects to different collaborators, contributors, or developers. And then they can go and create services, agents, upload files, and manage data inside. So I have a project in here. And in that project, I have these kind of options where I can see model catalog, what kind of models are available there, playground to test different kind of models. There are AI services, speech, text, vision, whatever you want to use. Then this is the agent where we are going to, uh, you know, create or orchestrate the demo for today, right? So I'm going to create a new agent. As explained already, let's call it demo agent, right? So it needs a model. So we have a list of model available over here. We can pick it. Then we're gonna give it the instructions like I explained there. So here you can go and write you are an AI assistant helping employees with their travel plan, right? And then comes the other things, which is like knowledge. So for searching the data, what do you think we should use? Probably TripAdvisor. So I've created a connection with TripAdvisor. I'm gonna call it TripAdvisor. And then I'm gonna give some description. So description is something which lets AI understand, okay, this is the tool that I should call if I wanna get any data about hotels or restaurants. Use this when you wanna get details on hotels or restaurants. All right. So then I have to provide it with an API key. which basically is the credentials so that I can access TripAdvisor's APIs. That is connected, and now I have made that connection, right? So now that connection is made, I can go and ask it questions in the playground. Cool. Hi. So it understands it's a general just greeting, right? I don't need to use any of the tools to get response. But it also understands the specific role that we describe in the instructions. So it has straight away said, how can I assist you today with the travel plans, right? I am going on a business trip. Can you search for some hotels around Chicago downtown? So now it understood I need to bring information from outside, right? So it actually made a call to the tool that we connected to it through OpenAPI specs. Oh, it took it away. But that is basically, it was talking to TripAdvisor's API, right? It took location, Chicago, downtown, as parameters in those APIs. And from there, it found a list of hotels. I know you guys would be pretty much aware of those. I'm from Naperville, right? So this is how you can, empower an agent connected with different platforms, sources, use them for the purpose that is tedious for somebody today, right? I can even go and ask it around questions around restaurants, right? Give me some good restaurants as well. Pardon my spelling, but AI is smart enough to understand this. Again, it went, made API call, and it can show you Chili's, this, whatever Dunkin's, right? All right. So this is like one of the tool that we gave to the AI, and AI actually went there, fetched information for us, everything happening on a single screen. Now I'm gonna ask it another question, which is, what is my budget? How much can I spend on my breakfast, dinner, lunch during my travel visit, right? So for that, I need to get provided with the HR policy for travel. Now, for that purpose, I have created one, and I'm gonna show you that. This is like a dummy policy. All right. So it has some information like I just used ChatGPT to generate it. Purpose, scope, travel authorization, booking guidelines, accommodation, this, and some numbers as well. So I'm gonna feed this to the agent that we just created. I'm gonna add some knowledge. I'm gonna add a file. I'm gonna upload a file from local. That is my HR business travel policy. And I'm gonna upload it. So when you say uploading, it basically creates a vector store which keeps processed version of your file, right? It's not like you have 100, 200 pages of files and pages file, and you are just giving it to the large language model to understand, go do whatever you want to do, right? Rather, you create chunks, you create embeddings, and then a similarity search happens over these documents that gives you the right context based on the query being asked by the user, right? So now it has two different sources to give me data, right? One is TripAdvisor that we already saw. The next thing is the file that we attached about the HR policy. On the same screen, not moving here and there, I'm just gonna say, how much can I spend on this trip for my daily meals? Let me refresh this. It actually just got the file. Let me see if that is ready or no. no, the file didn't got connected. I'm gonna connect that again. Upload, HR, upload and save. All right, now it is saved. Let me try this again. It still doesn't connected the file, but I have already created the same agent. I'll show the answers from there. Add files. Upload and save. All right, now it says that it has a file. I'm gonna try it in the playground. Wow. For some reason, it is missing the file. Something is going wrong. But yes, what I can do on the other hand is that I can simply upload files from here as well. Right, it took the HR policy, add. Let me try now. Okay, how much can I spend on my trip? Let's see. All right. So now it actually looked into the file, and from there it gave me the responses that were in my HR policy. So you can see like it is saying on meal and food, I can spend these many dollars on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So this is how you know, create agents, give them tools, give them knowledge so that they can do any kind of tedious task that is being done by humans today, right? So that is one platform which allows you to create agents or deploy them simply and put them in production right away. These are fully managed, secure at an enterprise level because it's coming from Azure, right? Now, the other platform that we have is AWS Bedrock. Just like AI Foundry, you can think of AWS Bedrock as the agentic platform from AWS or Amazon. So in here, the beauty is that you can use low code, no code kind of interface where you just go and drag and drop different kind of nodes, connect those nodes, and then control them, like define conditions. And then it's gonna give you responses based on how you orchestrated it, right? So first thing first, I have the first node that is flow input, which is like it's gonna take user's query as an input. Then I have created a prompt flow. Prompt flow is like I have invoked AI in here, and then I have instructed AI classify user question into Octank if any of the question is related or specific to the company, or just classify it as generic for any kind of general question, right? So now once the classification is done, I have a condition checker. This condition checker checks if the classifier classified something as Octank. That means now the question is related to my company, and I'm gonna use my company's information from a knowledge source that is connected to the documents, policy, whatever, and gonna give me a response. Otherwise, if this condition is turning false, I'm gonna go to the prompt module again or a prompt node again, which is again using AI, and AI can give you answer to any general question today, right? At the end, we have flow output nodes, which are just displaying you the output. All right. So this is how the overall flow looks like. I know it's difficult to see, but yeah. Flow input, user asks question. The AI classifies the question to be Octank related or generic. If it's Octank related, we are going to use knowledge base to search, get responses for the questions. If it is general question, if the condition is false, a general question, then the AI itself is going to give the response, right? Let's try this out. All right. Tell me about AI. Right. So it was a general question, and AI took it on its own. You can see that it went to flow output node 2. Node 2 is this one, and it is connected if the condition is false, which means the question is not related to octet, right? And now I am going to ask a question which is about octets, like some orders made in the sample company octet, right? So I have the order number. I'm gonna copy this from here, and I'll ask it a question. Tell me all the details about this order. All right. So now it went to flow node 1, which is like the condition was true, the question was related to octet, the condition became true, then it went to the knowledge base where I actually uploaded the file which I just showed you. So that file was stored in forms of embeddings again as a knowledge base. And from there, it searched against the details against my order number and told me like, octet appears to be a prefix for the order ID. These are the details and so on. Company sells whatever it does, the values, numbers related to these. So these were the two demos that I wanted to show you guys. I hope you guys found it interesting. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, we're gonna go to a 10 minutes break. Right? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. We're about to go ahead and get started. If you want to go ahead and grab your seats, we're about to go ahead and get started in the next 30 seconds. If you see your neighbor talking, just let them know we're getting started right now. So if they are still standing and talking, let them know to turn their attention here so we can go ahead and give our full undivided attention to our next speaker. Thank you, everyone who is taking those instructions.
All right. Can everyone hear me okay? All right. Hi, everyone. I'm applause for the intro. I love it. I'm Corey Liebgott. I'm VP of Product at Optimizely, and I'm going to share today some of the features and functionality we're building, including with Agentic AI, as well as the best practices that we follow when building it. But first, I want to talk a little bit about data because this is how AI systems learn. See if I know how to use this. All right. Nope. Same problem. Hold, please. Okay. Wait for it. All right. We're rocking. 328 million terabytes of data are created each day. That's enough to store 5.6 trillion hours of HD video. It's a lot. It would take a person 650,000 years of continuous streaming without repeating a single second to actually consume all of that. It's a lot of data. But we live in a world where artificial intelligence and supercomputers can consume that data and learn from it very quickly. In fact, Frontier, the world's fastest supercomputer, can do 1.1 quintillion calculations per second. It's really mind-blowing. So what can we do with all of that data? And how can we use AI to learn from it? And where do we even start? By the way, all the images in here are generated by AI. So at Optimizely, it's been a bit of an evolution. We started out with very basic AI functionality. So things like chat and creative assistance, generative AI. But now we're really shifting to basing our entire strategy around how can we really bring business value to our customers, bring them real ROI with our AI functionality, and more specifically with agentic AI. So I'll tell you a little bit about us at Optimizely, and then I'll get into some of the solutions that we're working on. So we are the operating system for marketers. So that's primarily who we serve. And we enable the optimization of digital experiences across channels. So think websites, email, social, and so on. We've got over 10,000 customers around the world, including some of these great brands here on the screen. And our solutions span a few different areas. So we have modern content management solutions, so to manage your website and its content. We have digital optimization tools that'll help power one-to-one personalization, as well as experimentation tools. We have industry-leading commerce solutions to make sure the buyers are getting the most relevant experience. And all of this, the underpinnings here are our AI functionality, with the end goal being, how can we help marketing organizations transform so that the way they work together, the way they plan and collaborate, is much smarter and more efficient? So we've built our AI on Google Gemini. It's branded as Opal. And up on the screen here, these are some of the features and functionality that we already have in place today. So analyzing and summarizing data, suggesting segments of who to target in your customer base and what channel to target them on. A lot of great stuff here. And what makes Opal unique is it's fully integrated across our suite of products. And it's brand aware. A marketer can upload their brand guidelines, their tone of voice, so that it truly knows how to represent them. And as I mentioned, we're moving toward agentic AI, because all those features and functionality that I showed a moment ago are great, but we really want to shift to how can we add much more value to our customers, and how can we bring agents into that to help them streamline their processes and really drive ROI. So to do that, because we serve marketers, we've basically been looking at all the jobs to be done of a marketer and saying, how can we replace those processes and workflows with agentic AI? And it turns out marketers have a lot of repetitive, tedious tasks that they have to do, but it takes away from the creative side of marketing. And that's where marketers really want to spend their time. So what we found is we can set up agents for them to handle all that rote work. And it really allows marketing organizations to unlock an infinite workforce. So let me give an example. This event that we're at today. Let's say I'm a marketer for 1871 and I want to promote this event. And I want to target a variety of people. I want to attract anyone from executives to engineers to students, but I want each of them to receive a different email, to get a different landing page, get a different experience. That's a lot of work to create all those variations of content. So we created the content agent who can actually do that work for the marketer in seconds, what would take a person hours, and create all those variations. And imagine that this agent is already trained on 1871's brand guidelines, their tone of voice, and then it can help them out. This is actually being launched in May. So what you're gonna see today is brand new functionality that's not yet released. So let me give you another example of what Opal can do, assuming I can get my demo to work here. And we recently were reviewed by Gartner, one of our analysts. And we want to take that report, go into our system. So we're accessing Opal in our content marketing platform. So this is where marketers go to collaborate. We access Opal, we upload this document. And the first thing we want to do is say, just summarize this document for me. Get to know it, Opal. And you can see this is a pretty meaty document, 38 pages of extensive detail about how we compare to our competitors. So it's going to understand all that. But now I want it to do something. This is where the agentic piece comes in. I want it to help me do my job. So I ask it to create a campaign brief, because I actually want to promote the fact that we got a top rating and we want to get the word out. So Based on everything it analyzed in the document, it creates the brief. It looks good. And now the agent asked me, would you like me to actually kick off the campaign? Sure. So now it's going to create this campaign in our marketing tool with that brief that it generated. And when I go into that, I can even ask it to suggest to me what to do next. And it'll spit out some tasks like write and publish a blog post for me, create a social posting, post that for me. And the agent's doing all the work. So again, this would have been hours and hours of a marketer, and an agent can do it in seconds. So we're pretty excited about that. That's coming out in May. We also serve experimentation practitioners that can do a variety of experiments with our tools. And sometimes it's the marketer, depending on the size of the organization, that's running experiments themselves. Larger, more mature organizations may have a whole entire experimentation department dedicated to running their experiments. But a common challenge we found from those users was, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to experiment on. Can you give me ideas? Of course we can. So we're building an agent for that, the experiment ideation agent. And this agent will autonomously review your web page, suggest hypotheses to test on, give you ideas, and I'm going to show you this in action in a moment. We're also working on the experimentation setup agent. So how do I know if I'm running a successful experiment? What metrics should I test on? This agent can suggest those things. Then the development agent. So if I want different variations that I want to test on, those need to be built. And typically that takes engineering resources. Now I have a development agent that can do that for me and really reduce the dependency on devs. And then finally, when the experiment concludes, the insights agent is going to automatically analyze the results and put it in a shareable format. All of this previously had to be done by a person going into our tools, setting up and running these experiments. And now it can be done with agents, sophisticated agents that can actually perform a task and hand off to the next agent to perform their task, and so on. So let me see if we can get in here and do this quick demo. So this is our web analyzer, and this is live in beta. You could actually try it on your phone right now to run your website through it if you'd like. And so many windows. Let's see here. There it is. We're going to use this, this company, KiwiCo, that creates hands-on STEM kits for kids. So just a, nope, not sharing. Okay. I think it's sharing on the web, but not here. All right, so let me just, for the folks on the phone, all good. I'm going to show them real quick, and then I'll show all of you. In the meantime, you can pull this up on your phone and give yourself a demo. So opal-experiments.web.app, put in your website, and it's going to review your page, and it takes a moment. This is a pretty sophisticated agent, and then it'll spit out some recommendations. So for the folks on the phone, you're seeing it. Let me toggle back to the PowerPoint so everyone else can see it. All right. Well. Oh, I know what it is. It's this. Here we go. All right. Oh, the presenter view. That's a bummer. Sorry, everyone on the phone, that you're seeing my presenter view. All right. So let me show you the results of that will pop up. And basically, if you've got it on your phone, it'll give you recommendations of, hey, try this different headline. Hey, try this different call to action. It'll give you ideas.
Apologies about that. The batteries are working, everyone.
Okay. So hello, everyone. It's great to see you all. And I would like to start with a question. How many of you guys have ever been scared to change something in your code because you had no idea what it would break? Can we get a cheer? Right? So much like the legacy code, my hair is long. It is unpredictable. I'm too scared to trim it in case it breaks everything. Sometimes I treat my hair like wet branches. Some days it's master, some days it's experimental. And I never remember why I merged it this way. Okay. So, yeah. But don't worry. I know the hair is long, but so is my talk. No, I'm kidding. It's quick, and let's get on to it. I hope it's audible now. Okay, so I would like to discuss a use case where we help one of our clients with the designing of jerseys. So we had a client, imagine a scenario where you have to treat your B2B clients where they want their team jerseys to be designed. There's a lot of process that goes. The step one being design, right? Choosing the design. Do you want it on deck? Do you want it all over too? What kind of style do you want on it? Then the second is the color, right? You need to understand what color your team uses. Is it away? Is it home match? The third thing is to have the decorations on top of it. It could be the name, the image, the number. Then finally, it's roster. You need all your team members' details. You need to put all of it, combine it. And just imagine how long would this process be? You being a designer, any guesses? It easily takes 1 hour to make one design. Then you got to go through a lot of iterations. You got to share it with the client. You got to get the feedback. Okay, you need to tweak this. This design doesn't look good. This logo is not looking good on the left arm. I want it on the right. Many such things. So, what do we bring? The new approach. What does it give you? Accurate consultation based on prompts, style suggestions based on order history. If I have your order, I can generate styles for you. I can give you real-time visualization via chat. I can give design tips for improvement, material and fit advice based on your location. You could be in Florida, you could be in LA, you could be in Chicago. It's too windy here. I need something warm. Auto roster entry, update roster, review and feedback via chat, iterative refinement, price estimation, order placement, tracking and updates, customer support, all taken care via agents. For this demo use case, I would like to show you how the agents collaborate to put the view on the screen, which I'm going to share with you guys. We have a user who interacts with the AI agent who basically gets the SQL query generated. It goes to the DB, fetches data, looks at what kind of design do you need based on the user that's logged in. The second AI agent, it does the JSON filling for me. So everything needs to be, that is materialized needs to be in digital form, right? So these jerseys, which I was showing you, the digital ones, or I'll be showing you in the demo, it needs to be identified out by some data. So that is the JSON through which they are denoted. And finally, it's the summarization. So here we go to the demo. I hope the text is visible to everyone. Now I'm prompting that give me a red jersey. So the agent is gonna check what kind of design do I like, what kind of design my company orders. This user might like something, um, let's say with a mesh or something like that. So it goes, it finds the database, it gets me the design right on chat, which I can check via the 3D visualization on here. So this process would ideally take you to find a lot of designs, go through them, select your colors, put something on it, and then see this option. Now, since this is a baseball jersey, as I'm a baseball client, my next prompt would be, do you like the button colors? No, right? Even I don't like it. Go Mavericks. So now I'm asking the agent to change the button colors for me to black because I really don't like the white on this design, honestly. And then the team name, it should not be team name, right? It should be something. called Mavericks. So it changed the button color, it changed the team name, and the rest of the jersey is still the same. Now I would like to put another prompt on here. And as all the other data scientists are, I really dislike typing these days because it just understands what I want. So as I said, I changed the name to Cam and the number to 20. So with this, the prompt was change player name to Cam and the player number to 20. So it did all this work seamlessly. The next step would be to create a roster. And let's say if I don't like the color, right? I just don't know why I'm obsessed with orange, but I like the color this way. So this is how it works. This is how it generates you fresh jerseys, fresh options, fresh colors, and whatever I discussed in my slide. Too long list to remember. And that's my time. Thank you, everyone. I'm Shakhar Saraswat, the data scientist with Royal Cyber. Thank you. So I would like Heather to take it up.
Thank you, Shikhar. Uh, First of all, thank you all for being here. My name is Heather. I'll just put the PowerPoint on. Okay, this is me. Let me maximize this. All right. So I work as a data scientist at Royal Cyber. I love working with AI, and I don't like making hair jokes. Okay, we'll start off with a basic picture. This is a picture I took from Anthropic's article that was posted on 25th of November. It was mainly regarding their new concept or new protocol that they've put out there. It's called Model Context Protocol. Can I get some ideas from any of you guys if you know what this picture means to you? Yes. Yes, that's the essence of it. So the circle, wait, let me put the pointer on. So the circle on the right here shows you an AI system or an agent that can connect to multiple these jagged shapes. You can think of them as APIs, like tools, APIs, services that you can connect to with one standard way. This black line over here. This captures the model context protocol. And this is important, guys, because till now we've been talking about what AI agents are, how we can create AI agents, what the different frameworks there are for AI agents on cloud, like AWS Bedrock or Azure AI Foundry, how we can utilize these agents. But we haven't been talking a lot about tool calling, how we can make these agents be useful and basically get information from different systems with maximum efficiency. Right. So model context protocol, again, that changes the game altogether. That changes the way we integrate tools with agentic systems. All right. So right here, you can see an AI system that is connected to multiple tools, web APIs, Slack, local file systems, Gmail, GitHub, through one standardized way of connecting. That's called MCP, Model Context Protocol. People think of it, or people have touted it to be the type C for LLMs, to connect to tools, and basically it's a step forward for AI to become more and more agentic, to become more and more autonomous. So MCP is a good stride for agentic to become more and more autonomous. It won't only like give you information. It'll do tasks for you, like create emails or do all sort of stuff. Push a repository from your local to GitHub, or even like create a whole itinerary from you based upon your budget or whatever, like Sarmat showed you in TripAdvisor. Right. So let me provide you with some context. Before, or not before, now, how we, right now, the way to integrate with different tools to your AI systems, you need to provide the lock and the key, right? You need to design the key for the lock in order to get access to the data that is external to your AI system, right? So the picture here shows, now it's displayed, sorry. The picture here shows different locks and different keys, and you've got to design your key in order to get access to your data that's external to your AI system. But right now, that is soon going to be replaced by MCP. MCP is a game changer here, guys. It's like I said, a USB-C port. Every server acts as a USB-C port that you can connect to your system, your laptop, which acts like the client. And the USB-C port is the MCP server that gets connected to the client through the MCP protocol. So soon it's going to be standardized. As new MCP servers gets rolled out, we're going to see many AI systems, many agentic frameworks, many companies employing this. They're going to leave the regular way of tool calling behind, and they're going to employ MCP. Why context matters? Okay. So like I mentioned again, it's a standardized way to connect with tools. You don't have to write your own integration code, which is high boilerplate code. It's very simple. All you've got to do is you need to understand what you want. And then you go to the marketplace and search for it. And there must be a company who's already put an MCP server out there. All you've got to do is just connect to it using a configurator for your client. It's as simple as that. So in this picture, you can see you've got a host with your MCP client, right? This can be anything. This can be your cloud desktop. This can be client. This can be your AI system, right? So your AI system will act as a client that will connect to an MCP server, and the MCP server is the place where your data is connected or your external data points are connected. I'll explain it to you as we go towards, go further. It'll be very clear to you guys, so just buckle up. This is, I'll go through a simple example. And in here, you can see an example MCP workflow. So you've got a prompt. The prompt says, can you please send an email to this person and say hello? This prompt is sent through a client, right? An MCP client, right over here. The MCP client gets the prompt. It sees what MCP server is the client is connected to, right? In this case, it detects that it's the recent MCP server that is most suitable for the query that the user has provided. It goes to the recent service. Now here, the recent service, the API, that's connected to MCP. You don't have to do anything. You just have to put this server in the configurator for your client. And I'll show you guys how. This is like too basic. Okay. Another example would be basically you being the user using Cloud Desktop as an MCP client that's looking for some data that is external to your AI system, right? This data is external, but that's connected to the MCP server that's provided by Cloudflare. And what you're doing here is you've configured this MCP server in your client configurator. You've done that, and as soon as your client gets your query, that query is sent to the server. The intent from the query is received, and based on that intent, it selects the specific server which should do the API call and get your data, which will act as context. And then the LLM gets that context and basically gives you the answer in your client portal. Let me take you guys through a basic demo. Not this. Okay, this will come in the end. So right here, I've got Cloud Desktop. Okay, I have to actually end that thing. we have got Cloud Desktop over here. Right. Okay. This is my MCP client now. And I've configured multiple MCP servers here. How? Well, you go to File, you go to Settings, and here in the developer, you can see that I have this file counter, conversation saver, smart context, Blender. That's a 3D modeling tool. I've got Fetch and the Perplexity server, right? Now, everybody knows who's using Cloud Desktop. They can't get access to the internet, but I can through the MCP server. So let's ask it first. Give me the latest on the Cincinnati. I'm from Cincinnati, so give me the latest on the Cincinnati Bengals. Where did it go? Okay. Give me a second. This worked the last time I did it. Let me restart Claude. No idea why this isn't working. Well, okay. Unfortunately, I don't know why this isn't working right now, but it was able to fetch the results for me from the internet and give me the correct results. I've got another demo for you too, and luckily this time I've made a video out of it. So what I was doing was I was playing a lot with MCP over the past week, and I'm very big on 3D modeling. I'm very big on that. And so I was thinking, what if there's an MCP that gives me access to use Blender, a 3D modeling tool, and all I have to do is just write a prompt. And I searched for it in the marketplace, and I was able to capture one. That's the Blender MCP. So you can see here that let me play this video first. Okay, so I've asked it to make a scene of a beautiful forest. I wrote that prompt. The MCP server works its magic and creates a 3D model for me. I also asked it to put some tweaks. Having love for math, I wanted the trees to be equidistant from each other. And I wanted there to be a tree in the center that has many branches. So yeah, this demo, if I was to play on Cloud Desktop, it was taking some time. But you can see the end result is fairly good. We are getting new servers are rolling with time, and we will get there with 3D design, as well as with many other services when it comes to MCP. Know that we're only starting here. This concept or this protocol was introduced last year in November, and just think in the span of 4 months we're here. So that's a huge leap. Okay. So yeah, this was a basic demo that I made. I would have been happy if I could have showed you the other demo as well, but it seems that I can't. Okay, just let me quit this. Okay. So right now, what we're going to do, we're over with the presentation. Right now, what we're going to do is going to do a quiz. I think we're almost 1 hour and 30 minutes into the session, and you guys have been enriched with some very fantastic knowledge, and we're going to test that now. We're going to test all of it. And we've got a $50 prize for the first, and then $25 for the second, and $10 for the third. Right. So I'll just ask my team members to get their phones ready so that we win. Yeah, you guys better not win. Okay. All right. You guys can see this QR code on your screens. Please don't scan from here because that wouldn't work on your screens. To the that's yeah. All right, we've got one participant, Billy. Billy's out. Billy's right here. All right. We've got okay, awesome. All right. So we're going to test your knowledge on agentic AI, agentic framework, MCP, and let's see who wins, man. This is going to be. I'm very excited for this. All right. We've got 39 participants. Everybody done? All right, we've 42. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start in 5, 4. I'm kidding. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, Yassine is doing pretty well. Okay. MC is doing really well. Oh, MC Yassine is back in the lead. All right, we'll be ending the game in 5. Yeah, we don't want many winners. All right, all right. Okay. 3. Leave it. Leave it or end it. Okay. I've got executive order, guys. I've got to end this. All right. Amazing. All right. MC, you'll be receiving your prize through an email, okay? We won't be handing it over to you here. Awesome. All right. So we're going to end it here. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. It was a pleasure. We're here still if you want to connect with us and talk about AI and about yourselves, about what you guys are into, about what you're working on currently. We'll love that. So we'll be just here waiting for you guys to come and ask questions. And apart from that, thank you all for being here.
I'm gonna resume the music. There is some more drinks, more food, so feel free to go and hang out until 7:30, and then we'll go ahead and wrap things up, okay?